Hello and welcome back to another Tomato video. In today's one, we're at the TMNT The Archie Adventures, issue number 71. And oh boy, we're at the final two issues for the series. And something which I thought would honestly be take quite a lot longer than what it actually did take. But well, here we are. And oh boy, these issues do not hold up whatsoever. I mean, going from the last issue where things were more mature for the kids at the time and going a bit more of a dark approach and that kind of stuff with more story-driven stuff and that kind of stuff, to then just going to this very comedic, more child-friendly, and just a flashback issue, and it's just, oh god, they do everything wrong in this issue and a whole lot more, and it just keeps getting worse and worse the more I read about this. So yeah, I mean, I just say that going into this issue, because I've already read this one, I knew what to expect with it just being a flashback issue. But I feel like had I not known this, I feel like I would have been a lot more pissed off about this, because this is supposed to be the finale to the series, and this is what we've been given. And it's not necessarily like a bad story, from what I can tell so far, from what I can remember at least. It's not a bad one, but at the same time, this is how they end the series, so it is pretty shit. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so on the first page, you do get to see April. She's talking to my husband, so to walk through the sewers, and there isn't really too much to this bit other than just Spencer just sets up the whole story by he just go on and say, yes, the tunnels. I remember these ones so clearly because back in my day, we used to do all this stuff, and that's when we do cut over to the flashback bit. And I mean, there are some bits in here which I do find to be quite interesting, especially like Splinter and how he shows off his past as well. Like I want to say that how he knew these people, his connection to these people, and the reason why he's doing it. I feel like that's a lot more interesting as it does develop his character quite a bit and also explores it in quite a few interesting ways. It's just the fact that this whole issue is just shit. But, oh well. But yeah, so as we do get to see, Spencer's walking by the sewers, and that's when he notices some people. They're trying to, so that there's a woman. She's basically her husband died from some reason or whatever, and now she's been given an offer to sell the dojo, or she'll either have to just sell herself because she can't pay rent, or something along those kind of lines. And lady doesn't want to sell it just because it's like last thing which she can remember her husband by, just because the people who made movies on him, they own the rights to the movies, which makes sense. But for some reason, also own his likeness to his image as well, which that is also something which I'm quite surprised at, because I don't think they're allowed to do that. But well, it is what it is. And we do get to see that later that night, some people, they decide to rob the place. However, this doesn't really work in Robert's favour, just because, as it turns out, that this woman is actually a skilled martial artist, and she actually beats all of them up quite quickly as well, which I was quite surprised at. Just because, with the flashback within the flashback, we do get to see, like my Splinter, he goes on to reveal how he knows his people, and he goes on to say that after he went to America, he went on to find his dojo, and he saw this man called David, who's supposed to be one of the best people in all the world, something like that, before he went on to go do some movies. However, in this bit here, it's not specifically stated that she's done some training. I know that it's somewhat hinted with her saying, oh yeah, you know, do you want to go a few rounds with me, and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I feel like at the same time, it could be interpreted as just, you know, you got defeated. So yeah, but I mean, it must be it's quite like a quite nice surprise to see all this kind of stuff. And yeah, so we do get to see Splinter later that day. He goes over back to his lair and tells his sons that you gotta get your ass in gear and let's go get some weapons and beat these bad guys up just in case some of them come out and try and fight them. And we do get to see on the other side of town, the people who tried to rob her earlier, they get some suit upgrades with like an exoskeleton from the new boss, which, yeah, I thought that's kind of cool-ish, I want to say, or at least cool enough, but, oh well. But then it just gets, weird, I want to say, just because we do get to see them, they actually break into the woman's house and actually start to attack her, which, yeah, sure, fair enough. But at the same time, they're using exoskeletons which can lift heavy things and all that kind of stuff, and you know, we've got some bits where they're punching her in the stomach, kicking her around and all that kind of stuff. it feels like these should be more deadlier shots than what they're actually making them want to be, where it looks like she just got a concussion. But I got a feeling that if this was real life, she'll probably die from those kind of like punches and that kind of stuff. But well, it is what it is, I suppose. And then after that, we do get to see the Turtles and Splinter for the final page for this story, which just gets so stupid. They just run into the battle, and that's where we leave this story off, which I honestly can say is not the best cliffhanger in the world. I mean, it just feels like it's more just a setup to actual main part of the story, rather than just, oh no, will tell us about to defeat them? Like, yeah, like, no shit, Sherlock. But, yeah, so I'd just say that overall for this issue, it's a weird one, I want to say, just because I feel like as the final story to this series, it is pretty shit. I want to say it's not the best. It's like far from it. There's a lot of stuff which I'll change, or at the very least not make this the final issue, or story I should say, for this series, when there's so much they should have done differently to change it to be more entertaining. And I know that like the whole thing was that they had to make like a good like story at the last minute, but at the same time, this just feels like it just goes against everything they've done throughout this whole series, and if anything, this whole issue just feels like it's not even part of the actual main series whatsoever. I mean, like, even with the first page itself, we've got Seymour Splinter walking in the sewers with a green robe on. Like, how do you mess up that badly? And then after that, we get to see him just go back to his normal like purple pink robe kind of thing. So I honestly have so many questions like how like bad they was able to screw things up. Like it's honestly a joke with within the first page and mess up with Spencer's like wardrobe. Like how? But I mean, like there are like some other like good things as well. Well, I feel like showing off and revealing Spencer's like history and backstory. I feel like that is pretty interesting to get more stuff about him, because from what I can remember, they don't really reveal all too much in the show, and they haven't revealed all too much in the comics either, other than just he was in Japan, his uncle was part of the Wonder Bombs in Japan and that kind of stuff, but there isn't really too much to really explore his character, and I feel like this bit here is not the best, but it definitely feels like it's like helping explore his character quite a bit. I mean, the only thing which I would definitely say is that I wish I had like they swapped this story over with the like how Turtles got their colours. I thought like, that would have been a much fitting story to this like series as like an ending kind of thing, but oh god, the more I talk about this one, the more frustrating it gets, because I just so wanted like a normal good ending, and I thought like, the last issue was a good ending to the series. How like they ended I wouldn't necessarily wrap things up, but just did things with Nick Joe and that kind of stuff, and just get stories like this. Like, how bad do you have to be to have like one character who is, make or break for this series? How bad do you have to mess up to be that bad? But, well, it is what it is, I suppose. But, yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this issue. Do you like it? Do you not? And, yeah, that's it for today, guys. It wasn't please share, scrub note stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.